Oh, Jesus. Oh, traffic jam. What's up, everybody? It's the Rice Rocketeer. I am coming in from Long Island. Had a nice ride today. Ooh, getting a little cut off here. There we go. So anyway, today I wanted to kind of bring the channel back to what it was originally supposed to be. And actually, originally it was kind of just an outlet for me to kind of find myself at a time that, like, I didn't really know what I wanted to do career-wise, or even in the grander scheme of things with my life. I'm still kind of stuck in that phase. But then it kind of evolved into a motorcycle channel for beginners and people who, you know, just kind of want to see somebody who's figuring it out. That was kind of my angle. There was a lot of motorcycle vlogs that I was following, but they all seemed to be people who had been riding forever. And you know what? Maybe that's who should be doing these channels. But honestly, I was never trying to be some kind of reviewer or somebody who knows everything about motorcycles. It was actually quite the opposite. I wanted to be somebody who you could watch, figure out how to ride motorcycles, what bike is right for them, you know, how to ride in the city, etc. Really, everything that I discover, I wanted people to do it with me. So, and now it's kind of turned into like a bike review channel, and that's solely because I've had a string of bad events. I had two bikes totaled for different reasons, but you know, so I've just had bike after bike after bike in 3 years, and I've, you know, naturally just done the first impressions and what I like most about this bike, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year with this bike, etc. And that's been all good and well. That's fun, and I'm glad that some people have found it useful. But really, I wanted to share beginner rider thoughts. So anyway, that's a long way of saying that today's video is about gear. I work at now, and I've sold a handful of people who have, you know, a handful of new riders bikes now. It's about 6 of them, and I just feel like it's part of, like, I kind of owe this to people. If I'm selling them a bike, I also want to make sure they're aware of the risks, and that's not to scare you away from riding. It's just to say it's very exciting buying a new bike, and of course that's the thing that we all consider most, is what bike are we going to get. But we oftentimes forget gear is extremely important for the longevity of your riding career. And I think it's something that is often overlooked. So I share that thought with people all the time. Don't skimp on the gear. There's tons of options out there, both style-wise and technology-wise. It doesn't matter on the season. You can find something that will keep you cool and safe at the same time. It doesn't matter if you like sporty or if you like more of the Harley kind of, like, I don't even know what you call it, like, hold on, like bad boy look. I don't know, I sound like a parent saying that. But you know, like the flannel look, if you want that, you got it. If you want a leather look, you got it. If you want more textile or more like kind of trendy look, they got really sporty shit with decals on it with full-on protection. So there's no reason not to wear gear. And I think it's very important to get through your head. We got another guy about to kill me. Yeah, so that's my long spiel for why you should wear gear. To me, it's A, to protect your life, but I want to ride for the rest of my life. So, like, you know, if I fall and I snap my leg, which very well might happen anyway, but anything I can do to minimize the chance of having some detrimental, you know, fucking terrible accident, I'll take those steps, because I want to ride until I'm 70 years old, or I'm just tired of it, which I don't think ever will happen. But so wow, didn't see me. So for me, my journey with gear, I didn't really buy the skimpy stuff. Actually, yeah, I did. So I bought a Revit jacket. I forget what the model is, but it's a summer riding jacket, and I basically bought it with the thought that like I could layer up under it for the seasons. Didn't quite work out that way. So know this. Going into buying gear, you will need different gear for different seasons. So it is well worth budgeting for 2 sets. That means don't go all out on your first outfit based on what season you're in at the moment. You're going to need a couple of pairs of jackets and maybe jeans, depending. I kind of just tough it out with my thick jeans, and it's quite miserable, but yeah, that's what I do. And then boots and gloves and all of the following. You know, the more the better. I bought a Revit jacket that was for summer. I'm forgetting the model name, but I still have it to this day, and I wear it all the time. It's actually a size too big for me, which is a point I want to bring up in a minute. But in terms of how it was for the summer, it was great. A lot of airflow, and you want to make sure you're comfortable, because if something's really uncomfortable, you're not going to wear it. So make sure that it gets you the right amount of air when and if you want it. I also have the jacket that I'm wearing today, which is a Dianese leather jacket. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm all about Dianese. I have a leather jacket for really spring and fall, and or winter. I might layer up, you know, unless it's ungodly cold, I layer up, and I'll wear that until it's too cold to wear that, because I just love this jacket. I also want to get another one, but they're so expensive. And then I have one more. I have a Dianese winter jacket that I finally shelled out for. And guys, I can't stress it enough, make sure you get a jacket that's warm, because inevitably when it gets too cold to ride, if you ride in the winter, you're going to end up not wearing that jacket with protection because it's too cold, and you're going to default to a parka you have. I don't know, you might throw on a North Face or something just because it's so cold. When you fall, that pavement does not care what brand or how much you paid for the jacket. It cares that you have protection in the right places and that the material is abrasion resistant. So yeah, good luck with that one. Gloves. Gloves are important, guys, because that's the first thing that goes down when you fall, right? You go try to break your fall. So you don't need race level gloves, but you do need something that has padding in the right places, and that's padding on your palms, on the outside of your fingers, the knuckle area, and you want something that's somewhat rigid enough, you know. You can buy what I have on today, which is just the bare minimum to withstand a slide. So you see here it has a little bit of padding. These gloves have like absolutely nothing, and I'm using these just because it's so goddamn hot. But it has outer protection here by the knuckles, out here as well on the fingers. You want to make sure you have something covering your hands. I see all too many people riding without anything, and I'll tell you something, if you can't use your hands, I don't care what you do for work, you're going to be pretty useless. And then the last thing that I think a lot of people kind of forget, this is usually the last thing I hear people ask about, is what you wear on your feet, footwear. People tend to wear Timberlands, or I see a lot of people wearing sneakers too, which, like, I have a lot of sneakers and I used to be a sneakerhead. I love it. So oh, here we go. And I just can't fathom wearing sneakers when I'm riding. It's just, it seems like the worst idea. So you know, I would encourage you to do a little bit of research, figure out what works well, but you want protection on your ankles, and then you want protection, you want something with a lot of structure. They make specific riding shoes, they make riding boots. You can get pretty much any style. I have just recently made the upgrade from riding sneakers to my riding boots. I got full-on race boots. They're really designed for the street, but they're very similar to what you would wear on a track, and I think they're okay to wear on the track as well. So it's well worth it. I've always kind of worried about what happens if I get sandwiched, even between two cars, like what's going to happen to my ankle. So the boots that I have on today, see if I can see it from here, full on go up to the shin. They have shin protection as well, something I've always been really nervous about as well. Super rigid around here, around the toe. It has toe sliders so that if you fall, your foot doesn't get stuck and twist. It continues to slide. It's a full-on boot. So highly recommend full-on boots. They look funky, and it means you can't really just like get out and walk around and do whatever, But if you're going to be going for weekend rides, going up to the country, I mean, just think about it. Your foot's going to get pinned under your motorcycle, which my bike is 414 pounds. That's heavy enough. But most motorcycles that you'll see out there, if it's not a sport bike, are 500 plus. Easy. Oh, what is going on here? Uh-oh, don't mind me. If you cover all your bases, you'll ride a lot differently. Protective wear is for protection, but it's also does something for you psychologically, because when you're riding around and you don't feel like you're safe and protected and you're good, you're going to ride a little more timid, which may be a good thing, but you're also just always kind of worried about it. If you're protected, you kind of feel secure, and I gotta say, there's something, again, psychological about like the rigidity of Dianese wear, which is why I wear it and I like it. I became a Dianese guy strictly for that reason, and I stand by it. You know, I love it. I have yet to crash, knock wood, but you know, the way the jackets hug you, the way I haven't had any pants from them, but the way that this boot holds my foot in the correct position, has the flexibility in the right places but rigidity in others, makes me feel like, hey, maybe they might know what they're doing. And I'm pretty sure if I were to have a crash, my injuries would be far less than if I was not wearing this gear. So this is the brand that I choose. It makes me ride differently, it makes me more confident, and I wouldn't get really any other gear except for this. I know there's Alpine Stars, I know there's Revit. Both are really reputable companies that make great gear. I'm just hooked, and you know what? I don't buy a jacket every year, and I plan to have this jacket for as long as it'll last me, and the material is really resilient. So if I'm going to buy one jacket every couple of years, I don't mind shelling out the extra money. I think, like, for this level of jacket, Alpine Stars makes one for like 7 something, and this one was like 800 something, so it's really like not that big of a difference for something you're going to get so much use out of. So I highly recommend finding the brand that you like. Think about price to the extent that like you're going to have to pay for it, but it's your life you're talking about. So if you find something that you really like, you think looks cool, you're going to be more likely to wear it. If it's protected all in the right places, has all the right ratings, shell out for it. You will not, you know, be sorry. Let's go. Come on, guys. So many people. I forget it's Saturday. My days, I've not always had a fucking weekend off all the time. I got out of work early. The dealership closes early on Saturdays, so I will have Sunday off. But working in restaurants, I never was out on Saturday or Sunday. I was always at work, so I forget that people do fun stuff on the weekend. Oh my god. I don't even know where I'm going. I rarely do. I don't really have anything to do. I just want to ride. Ooh. One other thing I'll say about kind of like track ready gear, and listen, I feel like I'm a spokesperson for Dianese. Like, I just like love their shit so much. Is that it puts you in the right position, at least on this bike, on a sport bike, which makes sense because that's what it's designed for. It puts you in the right position to interact with your motorcycle. All too often, prior to having Dianese stuff, I've had different types of gear. It's a little more relaxed, it's meant for comfort, but the thing is, that kind of like, that's fine, it works, but it just like, you don't feel locked in. And I feel like oftentimes when you're riding, it really helps to be in the position that you need to be in. Like, my foot is naturally kind of pointed in because of the way the heels are a little wider, kind of tap the side of the bike, and they force my toe in, and that's the position you want to be in anyway. So, you know, that's I guess why it costs so much money, is because these things are actually really thoughtfully designed to make you do what you're supposed to do on the bike. And I just really like that. I feel so in tune and connected with the bike. The sun is going down, and I hope not too quick, because I have a tinted visor on again. I have to say, they look so cool, but they're just so not functional for over the course of a day riding. Great during the day if you know for sure you're going to be back in an hour or two, but other than that, it kind of trapped yourself. But on the topic of helmets, I've been sucked into this whole Italian thing. I love AGV helmets. Certain models fit my head just right. All the different models have different kind of cuts and shapes. There are 3 generic shapes to heads, so it's like oval, long oval, and intermediate oval, I believe. I think those are like across helmet brands, across everything, that's like the general head shape sizes that I don't know who came up with it, but that's what it is. So you got to find the one that's right for you, and believe me, it is not worth deviating, because if you do, you will be very sorry. You will end up with a headache about 20 minutes into riding. I did that with my first AGV helmet. I had the K3? I think it was the K3. That shit hurt an incredible amount. It was terrible. I couldn't wear it. I rode it, I think I was like 20 miles out when I realized that my head was just throbbing. It was just pulsing at the front, right by my forehead. I had this pressure point. It was awful. So make sure you figure out what shape your head is and how best to fit it. You'll be really thankful in the future. But when it comes down to brands, guys, there's a lot of new stuff that I don't fully know about. I know Scorpion makes some wonderful, affordable helmets. HJC makes some great helmets. They have a whole variety of like affordable to up there in the price range helmets, and they all look fairly good. But then there's the tried and true, the tested, the big three as I think of them, which is Arai, you have Shoei, and then you have Bell and AGV. So I guess that's four. Those are the four that come to my mind when people are like, what helmet should I get? Those are the brands that pop into my head. I think they all really look good in different ways. They also all are tested and tested and tested. I think anybody would be good if you get one of those, safety-wise. Oh my god, the sun is killing me right now. So anyway, those are my opinions about motorcycle gear, and I know it's not anything specific, but the overall message, guys, is make sure to buy some gear. The motorcycle's no good without you, and you are no good without that gear, I'm telling you. I also tell a lot of people in the interim, while you're waiting for your motorcycle, whatever it is, or you're waiting on making a decision, go buy the gear first. First of all, it's like a push to get the bike, because if you get the gear, you're like kind of like, okay, now I got to get the bike, right? So if you're flopping on a bike and you're not entirely sure, it's a great way to like subconsciously push yourself to do it. Maybe that's a really terrible thing to say, but that's kind of how I've gone about that. And my tattoos too. I got my tattoo starting at the bottom up, because I knew if I started at the bottom and decided that I wanted to stop, I didn't like the look of having a tattoo on the bottom of your arm and not the top, so I kind of had to continue the sleeve. So that's what I did. And it's kind of the same with the bike. I bought my helmet and everything when I had a scooter, before I had the actual bike, and then I bought the bike. So that does help. Thank you. I hear a chopper. Every time I hear a chopper, I think it's for me. I'm like not nearly important enough for a chopper, but I don't know. It's a fear of mine. Let's see. Ugh. Beautiful. I'm gonna keep recording. I'm just gonna chill right here. A little nervous, a little nervous. Hey, get out of here. Damn, those guys really messed up my day. I was gonna enjoy that waterfront session, but I don't know, got a bad feeling. Pro tips for buying gear. First of all, shell out. Make sure you get something, again, that's gonna look cool, it's gonna make you feel cool, because if it doesn't, you're not gonna wear it. Heads up. Get something that you really think looks the part that you want to be, and enjoy the hell out of it. That's kind of like the best way to ensure that you're gonna wear it. Also, make sure that you're budgeting for seasons. If you live in a place with seasons, like me, I live in New York. So I need something for the summer, I need something for the winter. I have both ends of the extreme, and I'm more thankful because of it. You can always layer up with the lighter stuff to make it good for spring. So if you buy something that's specifically for spring, it's not going to be warm enough for winter, it's not going to be cool enough for summer. So make sure you get both ends of the spectrums and you can layer accordingly. The next tip that I have is make sure it fits you. If your stuff doesn't fit you, first of all, if it's too big, it's going to catch a lot of air. Even if it can allow air to flow through freely, it's still going to just be really annoying having something flapping off of you. It's frustrating. And if it's too tight, you're not going to be able to comfortably sit on your bike for a long period of time, and that is annoying. I've had a jacket that's way too tight for me, and it's like to bend down to tuck in, you feel like you're losing blood to your arms. Not a good feeling. Same goes for the pants too. And then also use it to its fullest. I see a lot of people getting you know, really nice jackets and or suits or whatever it is, and kind of babying the gear. Use the gear for what it's meant for. It's meant to be ridden. It's gonna wear out. Don't worry about it. So guys, that's all I got for advice on gear. These are just kind of my random thoughts on buying gear. I think it's very important. That's the overall message of this video, is buy your gear. Don't skimp out on it. And also, you know, be proud to wear it like it's part of the motorcycle. Don't think of your motorcycle separately. Thank you for tuning in to yet another episode of the Rice Rocketeer rides around the city and talks about stuff as if he is an expert. Yes. I really appreciate. I'm about to hit, I think I hit 420 or so followers. So it was earlier today. Thank you to everybody who has tuned in and clicked follow or subscribe. Subscribers, that's right, I'm in YouTube world. Thank you guys, I really appreciate it. And you know, if there's anything you would like me to cover, if there's any video topics you're interested in, please drop it in the comments below. You can send me a message in Instagram or TikTok. I promise you I will respond. But yeah, I'm quickly running out of bikes because I think this is the one for the future, however long. I would love to keep this bike forever if possible. It would be great if no one drove into it or stole it. Please and thank you. So thank you guys, and stay tuned for more. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to click that button down below. Give the video a like if you like videos like this, and I will see you guys on the next one. Whoop.